Lily breathlessly chased the man through the forest. He had shifted into a bear, of course, and ran out in front of her, his long strides putting great distance between them. Was he trying to lose her? She sat down on a fallen tree completely winded and cursed as her bottom sank down into the rotted wood. She cringed, hoping the bugs beneath would stay where they were and not creep out onto her lap. The man would eventually have to come back. There was no way a human could match the speed of a bear, even one who was in decent shape, which she was. Her thoughts took her back to the day's events. Closing her eyes tightly, she wished she had stayed in bed. When she had gone to her husband's study to ask if he wanted to help her replant their garden, the last thing she expected to find was her dead husband lying on the ground and a confused stranger standing over him. "Darling, do you want to help me plant the lilacs first?" she called cheerfully as she rounded the doorway. Lily came to a full stop, all joy leaving her as her eyes fell upon a chilling sight. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" Lily Adams Spencer walked into the study to find a man standing over her husband. Harold lay on the ground, lifeless, a sword stuck in his stomach, and glassy blue eyes staring emptily at the sky. His black hair had fallen out of place, and a strand was carelessly draped across his forehead. Harold's vanity would have never allowed such a thing. "Did you kill him?" Lily shouted and ran over. She knelt beside her husband, putting 2 fingers to his throat. She couldn't feel a pulse, and she knew, with his unseeing eyes, that there wouldn't be. A pit opened up in her stomach. Quietly, she smoothed his unruly hair away from his pale face. The blood still poured from the wound and spread in a glassy red pool across the floor. He couldn't have been dead very long. When she had touched him, his skin still felt warm. "Did you kill him?" Lily repeated with quiet intensity. "I don't know." The stranger stumbled back and sat in a chair. "You don't know? How in the hell can you kill someone and not be aware of how it happened?" She screeched. None of it seemed real, like she was in a movie or a dream. Shaking his head, the man drew his fingers back through his hair and let out a shaky breath. "I think I might have blacked out." Lily looked at him incredulously. "You think you might have, or you did?" The stranger was showing signs of agitation.
"The last thing I remember is I was walking through the forest. I think I was hunting, but I can't be certain. I stopped by the creek to shift, and that's the last thing I remember. The next thing I know..."
He opened his arms wide and gestured to his surroundings. Lily gave a contemptuous snort and looked down at her dead husband. "You obviously killed him," she snapped, with tears filling her eyes. Gently she brushed her hands over his open eyes, pulling them closed. She couldn't stand seeing the emptiness that was there. There was a time she could see the length of his entire life in those deep blue pools. But now there was absolutely nothing. It was like staring into a yawning abyss. She couldn't help but wonder if Harold had something to do with his demise. Had he brought it upon himself? Was there an enemy in their midst? No, that couldn't have been it. Everyone loved him. "Oh, Harold, what did you do?" she whispered.